Good morning, everybody. Well, I told you I was going to be making my green bell pepper steak. I'm going to be canning it. This has to be pressure canned, and I'm doing pints, so it has to be 75 minutes. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Pam from Old Hippie Homesteaders. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch our videos. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to explain to you about the meat. You can use any kind of beef. I got these marked down at our little store. These small packages were $3 a piece. These are eye of round steak. Then I got this at Smart and Final, and it's boneless beef sliced for stir fry, it said. And this was $5.64. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the meat going first. Now I don't put all of this together because the last thing you want is to open up a jar and pour it over your rice and have no meat in it. So I do the sauce in one pan and the meat in another. So I know that each jar has basically the same amount of meat. So I'm going to start getting this ready. Now, like I said, you can use any beef. You can even use chicken. So I'm cutting this into little strips. See this? Little strips. And I'm not going to be adding any oil in the pan because oil can make your food go rancid. And I really don't need oil. I'm just going to kind of give this a little caramelization. It's a pretty quick meal. Once you get everything going, it's pretty quick. I try to slice them all together. So this is a very inexpensive meal. You use marinara sauce, whatever. I'm using ragu traditional sauce right here. You can use whatever you have. And it takes onion and bell pepper. Now your onion and bell pepper can also be dehydrated or freeze-dried. Doesn't have to be fresh, okay? Try to cut any big pieces of fat off, but that just gives it some good flavor. Okay. I am just exhausted this morning. You guys do the same thing I do. As soon as it's nice enough to go outside, you work yourself to a frazzle, and then you're just exhausted for the next week. Well, that's what I did yesterday. But things need to be done, so I had to get up. So you're going to pressure can this, like I said, for pints, because it's just the two of us, 75 minutes for your elevation. And I'm going to do 15 pounds of pressure because I'm high elevation. Not really high, but high enough. You're done. That's going to be a lot of meat in there. Still have 2 more packs. I think I'm going to need more jars. Open this up. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of meat in there. But it's okay because I was totally out of pepper steak. Wanted to have it for dinner the other night. I just heat up a jar and I pour it over rice. That simple, that quick. Okay, let me get the rest of this cut up. I'll be right back. Check out this. This is the one I got at Smart and Final. It says boneless beef sliced for stir fry. Look at that, it's already sliced. Look at that. This would be perfect for jerky. That's nice. That sure saves me a lot of time. My gosh. I'm going to be looking for this in the marked down meat section from now on. That's awesome. Wow. Look at that. That's already sliced. Okay, so I'm going to let this meat cook. It's the biggest skillet I have, besides my cast iron skillet. Guess I should have used my cast iron this morning. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful meat? Okay. Okay, so while the meat's cooking, I'm going to start cutting up these onions. Turn this back here on low. You can hear the onions start to sizzle. So I'm just going to cook these onions long enough to get them a little caramelized. throw some oregano in this. Excuse me here. Another onion. These are kind of puny. Stir that around a little bit. Now I'm going to start on the bell peppers. These have already been washed. I cut these about like this. You can cut them smaller if you want. House is going to be smelling good. So you can cook all of this in one pan, but I want to make sure that every jar at least has meat and almost like the same amount of meat. You know, you don't want to open up a jar and there's no meat in it. Oh, wow. House is already starting to smell good. Now you can use regular tomatoes all cut up if you want to. I use diced. I have a few cans of diced tomatoes that I need to use, so I'm going to use canned, but you can use fresh. And I don't measure, I just guesstimate, so sorry. When I make soup, I try to do 10 jars of each kind. If we still have some of that same soup left, I will just do like 4 or 5 jars. You can use other bell peppers, but this is just called green pepper steak. So use whatever you have on hand so it doesn't cost you money. Okay? Oh, that's starting to smell real good. This cat is driving me insane. Okay. Now, if you don't have a white onion, use purple or brown, whatever. Doesn't have to be white. Just use what you have on hand. If you don't have green bell peppers, use a yellow or a red. You can use freeze-dried peppers. You can use dehydrated peppers. It's all about using what you have on hand. Okay. Okay, so I'm just using canned diced tomatoes. That's it. Like I said, if you don't have a can, use fresh. I'm going to save that for another time. I'm going to add some more oregano. You can add a little bit of roasted garlic or any garlic. Oh. This is getting pretty full. Now I don't want to cook this meat all the way through because the pressure canning will also cook it. I just want to cook it enough to where it gets the fat out of it, because I don't want fat in my meals. I mean, it's okay, but if there's too much fat, you have a chance of the jar going rancid. Okay. Okay, so I put the, here's the recipe. So I put the pepper in, tomatoes, oregano, beef. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting in the marinara sauce. This is a true marinara sauce, but it works and it's good. It's ragu. I got the large one. Got it at Smart and Final. Boy, it's got a cap on here that. Okay. Let me show you this real quick here. Let me show you this real quick, guys. There's the beef. And there's all the goodies. Okay. So I'm going to add the marinara sauce. I'm going to add the whole thing. Check. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to let that simmer. Let all the spices get together. Let the vegetables cook down a little bit. And when this is ready to put in the jars, I'll be right back, guys. Okay. So I've got everything ready. So I'm going to put the sauce, wait, let me see. I think I'm going to put the meat in first. Where is my tongs? Okay. Probably going to need to get a few more jars. So I'm going to put a few pieces of meat in first. Okay. Can you see this? Look how nice and thick and beautiful this is. Look at that. Can you see that, guys? Look at that. Okay. Look at that. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that it gets all incorporated. See that? I'm going to add a little bit more sauce. Same rule applies. Try to keep it under the under that first rim. See that? That's all ready to go. It's full of meat and it's got all the sauce. I like a lot of meat because this is going to be for 2 people and you're going to pour it over rice. So make sure you've got enough meat in there. Stir that in there. Make sure you get the air bubbles. And you can always add just a tad more sauce, not a lot. There we go. Make sure you wipe off the rim. You see that? See all that meat down at the bottom? It's all stirred. Everything's nice. I'm gonna wipe the rims off one more time. Now I didn't put any seasoning with this meat because it's gonna pick up the seasoning from the marinara sauce and the seasonings that you put in there. If you want, you can cook the onion and the garlic with your meat. That I've done that before too, okay? But just however you cook this, however you throw it together, make sure that you're going to have enough meat in every jar. Like I said, you don't want to open a jar that's all sauce. Okay. Now I drained the meat. You guys didn't see that, but I did drain the meat because there was a lot of water in it and a lot of fat content. So it's all drained. Now, if I have any sauce left, I usually throw it in the jar and I push your can, excuse me, but I write on the seal, no meat. This way you can just throw it in with your spaghetti sauce. Okay. Add a touch more. Beautiful. You can even see the green pepper in that. Okay, guys, I'm going to get all these jars finished. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it all done. Now I have a lot of leftover sauce. Not a lot, about a quarter. So I have these freezer containers. I buy these on Amazon. I'll put the link in the video description. I'm gonna put the sauce in here because this is the perfect sauce. We make little personal sized pizzas all the time, and this is the exact amount that we need. So I'm gonna put some in here. Okay, there's one. You don't want to get too much in here because when it freezes, it will overflow in the freezer. So there's one. So this is kind of a meal prep canning video. Okay. These plastic containers are the same ones that you can get at your deli counter. They were very sturdy. I reuse them quite a few times. I don't care if they're plastic. If you guys have a problem with using plastic, then use a jar. You can even put it in a Ziploc baggie and lay it flat so they stack nicely in your freezer. Okay, so I've got the water in my canner. It's not turned on. These aren't hot. These are just warmed up. The meathead's cooled. The sauce is cooled. So I'm going to be putting cool jars into a cool canner. You don't want to do a hot water or a cold jar because the jar will snap. You don't want to do, you want to keep it equal. The same, kind of the same temperature with each. This is also good if you just want to put it over rice with no meat, if you're a vegan. You can put it over spaghetti sauce. You can use it as pizza sauce. You can use it in your ravioli. You can use it in your lasagna. You can also can it with your meat mixture if you want to. Okay. All right. So let me get a clean towel to clean the top of these jars, and then I'll put the seal on and the ring, and I'll get them in the canner. I'll be right back. So today I'm going to be using 4 jars, plus I'm going to be using my old, ball or cur. Use my old ball. I don't buy any new ball now because they're made in China. 4 jars is also, but to me, they work much better than the ball. Okay. Now I have a double stacked pressure canner. Okay, so like I was saying, I have a double stack canner. So I put my jars in the bottom, and then I put a rack on top, and these sit on the rack. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on low and get the kitchen cleaned up. Going to do my elevation for 15 minutes, and the time is going to be 75 minutes because it's pints. I will bring you back when they're all done. But this was easy peasy, guys. Easy peasy. If you even have a leftover steak, if you have a leftover ribeye or a leftover chuck roast, anything, you can cut that meat up. That's one step saved. You don't have to cook it because it's already cooked. So use what you have on hand. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. It doesn't have to be green bell pepper. It doesn't have to be white onion. It doesn't have to be canned chopped tomatoes. It can be a tomato. It can be freeze-dried bell pepper, freeze-dried onion. It can be frozen onion or frozen bell pepper. Anything that you have to keep your meal costs down, that's what you use. So I'm going to come back after 75 minutes, and I'm going to show you the final result, guys. Okay, guys, it's all done. Oh, you can smell the bell peppers. Oh, my, my, my. Oh, boy. I used the orange towels that I just pulled out. I used those as kind of like a buffer. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to go get my... Hold on. I got to go get my picker-upper. Okay. Oh, you can sure smell it. Oh, wow. Okay. There we go, guys. Oh, wow. How nice and pretty that is. It's full of peppers, meat, steak, and all kinds of goodness. All right, that's what it is. So for pints, you're going to pressure can for 75 minutes with your elevation. For quarts, it's 90 minutes, and then for your elevation, okay? If you got any questions, send me a message, but these turned out absolutely perfect. They all sealed. Couldn't ask for a better day. Hope you guys enjoy this. This is very, very good over rice. Really good. Have a cool day, guys.